Yeah. You're tuning in to the Unbreakable Black Man podcast with your host, Michael Terrell, and I'm so glad. You know what it is. We're here. What's happening? I would just say what's happening in the United States of America, but come to find out, we got people in other places listening to us. So what's happening, everybody around the world? What's happening? This is the Unbreakable Black Man podcast with your host, Michael Terrell, and I am so glad you are here. And I also have my unbreakable partner, big homie, Mr. Nick James in the building. What's happening, Mr. Nick James?
What's up, everybody?
So we are on another episode to where we are on another Friday Night Rambles. And it's a funny thing. I was talking to Nick earlier about trying to actually like grow. Like I was telling you earlier, you know, we're trying to grow the whole platform, different shows, different so like a dating show. We're gonna have a cooking show, you know, our show, Friday Night Rambles. And then I even gonna have a I guess, what do you call it? A wellness channel.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hosted by Sky, and she's gonna be basically showing like people like over 40 years old like how to still like get into workout routines and how to like basically manage their health a little better. Then they have we're gonna be having the sports channel, and with the sports channel is gonna be hosted by Chubb, and he's really into a lot of like sports stats. I couldn't do that to save my life. I don't know. I don't know nothing about sports stats, but he's real passionate about it. And I have Selena with Caddy and Key. They're both going to be doing it's going to be kind of like a interview show where, you know, they're interviewing different individuals, mostly guys, but they're going to have like other women on there too, and just have like their generation conversation about those type of things. And I'm not forgetting also it's going to be a cooking segment. And I don't know the name. I'm letting everybody like kind of, we're trying to figure out how we're going to name things, how everything's going to go and stuff like that. And so I'm very stoked about it, you know, especially like with what we're doing. And, you know, we have reached over 100 people downloading. And I know that's a small number to all you big number people, but for somebody that just wanted to get out here and wing it, to actually have some people wanting to hear what the hell we got to say, it's magical to me.
Fucking nice.
Yeah, so all I want to do is just try to grow. You know, I hope that, you know, we always have things that people want to hear and, you know, always tune in. I don't care, you know. But
what you were saying about might not, you know, over 100 downloads might not seem like much to a big number of people, but they had to hit 100 first too.
Well, that's true. You know, it's just a lot of times once people reach a certain plateau, they forget exactly where they came from in the first place. So that's what I was saying by that. Because, you know, they might be at 500,000 and that like they never had one before. or they might have an instant success of a whole bunch of people hitting them up all at one time. It's a difference when you get that grind. You know what I mean? Like you're not checking us out because we have pretty faces. You're not checking us out because we're shaking our butts in the camera. You wanting to hear what's going on. Either we tickle your fancy, we intrigue you, we make you think outside of the box, whatever the case may be. But I'm just happy that you're here for the ride.
Once we start getting big numbers, dude, I'm gonna start acting a fool. Be like, oh, you pussies out there, what, you 100 fucking downloads? Fuck you.
I'm gonna be that guy. Just keep trying. You'll make it there one day.
No, I'll be very encouraging.
I'm gonna be Gandhi after a while. All my morning inspirations, they're gonna be seeing me with birds and walking up the mountain with my Jesus robe on.
You gonna be like DJ Khaled? I got the keys.
Hell. Shit. No. Be his fat ass. That's why I've been fasting so damn much. I figured since we about to do all this filming and video, and I was like, yep, it's time to really get in shape.
I know. I got to do something.
Like,
it's getting bad. It's getting out of hand.
I sat down, was looking at that thing, and I said, damn, boy. Because when we were doing it with the iPhone, I could look at myself and be like, okay, I look good on camera. But there are features that I just don't agree with. So I was like, certain things I'm going to have to make sure that I work out a little bit harder than others to make sure that I get myself in the, position that I want.
Yeah, I'm going to start going back to the gym. I'm waiting until like February because I'm waiting for all these other assholes to get out of the way with their fucking New Year's resolution horse shit. But yeah, it's getting to a point where it's like you got to do something because just sitting around and trying to pray the weight away, it ain't working.
No ways.
God's leaving me on red with that one.
Try what that all those instant things. You just drink ginger tea.
I wish there was an instant thing, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to work out, especially after like work and shit. I wish I had a job where I guess I could get up and go before I went to work, but I'd have to get up early, real early.
It's damn. I tried it. Probably did it for like a week. It's very refreshing to do it, but it's very hard to get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. Like for me in the morning, if I know that I'm not doing anything, I can go downstairs and watch TV or bullshit. I can get out of bed instantly, take my shower, and I'm cool. But if I know that I have it to where it's like I wanted to get up and go work out, it's like stones are in my pants and I can't get the hell out of bed. When I come home from work,
stones in my pants.
Yeah. I try sometimes. It really takes for me, like I remember back in my super motivated time, and it was not that long ago. It was around the same time as probably 5-6 years ago. But every weekend I had to go to the mountain. I had to climb up and down the mountain and around. I did that on Saturday and I did that Sunday. And I was working doing landscaping, so I continuously worked out. Basically, went to the gym. Even if I worked out, is that I worked out or I played basketball. So I got my cardio in, or I got a workout in, regardless. And then with the mountain, I had a group of people that we all went together, so it was fun. So I woke up extra motivated to want to go out there, to go kick it with them and talk as we walked up and down the mountain and around. Like some people are very like self-motivated. I am not that guy. I'm not. I can try to be. Like, I could push myself to a certain extent, but it sucks to say, but it's always been when I was around people that kind of like boast me to do better. Like with rapping, when by myself, I don't have that creative niche. But when I was with my homeboys and they were trying to write raps and we were all rapping together, I'll be trying to compete with them. So I was like, I can't make no bullshit.
Yeah.
When I'm by myself, I'm like Lil Wayne. I just say whatever comes to my mind. Be like, man, you either like that shit or just, hey, it is what it is. Told myself I gotta get myself to a place to where I don't need nothing to motivate me. Like, to me personally, I think I do pretty good because, like, especially like with the podcasting thing and stuff like that, like, I think that I make a lot of moves that most people would not make. Because either they would prefer to spend it on something else or not have enough faith in themselves. I don't think I give myself enough credit because I do push myself, but not I can't, not that what is it? What's that guy's name? Rick Ross. Yeah, that push it to the limit. I push it, not push. Dun it. That's not me. Like I push it, not maybe tomorrow. It's like, yeah. I'm that guy that always look at the job and say, man, this is some bullshit. Can't we do this tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Now, let me not say that. People be like, you know what? He did my yard. And I remember him. He did come that day and then made up some crazy ass excuse and said he had to come tomorrow. Yeah, I sure did. Because when you work all the time, every day, shit. You be needing the break. Some people be like, yeah, you young. I'm like, yeah, to you? He's 60, 70 years old. Yeah, I look young to you. No.
I could do more. I definitely allow myself to have a lot of downtime. It's nice, but at the same time, it's like, I need to be doing something. Because it ain't doing as much nothing as I do. I can't do that forever.
Well, we got a lot of work to be doing with this anyway. And something I was thinking about, how you were like about the name? And when I think about it, our show is called Friday Night Rambles. The whole umbrella is under my thing, but our show is not the Unbreakable Black Man podcast. Our show is called Friday Night Rambles. And when I was thinking about that, I was like, we don't call our show that. We call our show. So that's why I was thinking that earlier when we were talking about the name and stuff.
Yeah, when I see like when I look at the podcast on like Spotify or whatever, like I thought it was just like the name of an episode. I see Friday Night Rambles, and I'd be like, I wonder if it's like.
So I have my thing is morning inspirations.
Okay.
Like that's a show by itself. Then Friday Night Rambles is a show by itself. And then Thinking While Driving is going to be a show by itself. So I'm going to have 3 separate shows under the umbrella of one show.
Okay.
Then I'm going to do the same thing with everybody else's show. So it's multiple different segments in one. Whatchamacallit does it. I already told you about Revolt. Revolt does it. No Jumper does it.
Yeah.
A couple of people I've seen do it, and I see that that's how they get their numbers up too.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It gives people, rather than just one option to listen to, you're gonna have a dating show, sports, all that shit. There's gonna be something for everybody.
And only thing different is I'm gonna play Suge Knight, the nice Suge Knight, not the dickish. I meant like be like the producer manager type person, make sure everything runs the way it's supposed to type shit. Not hang a motherfucker over the balcony trying to get their rights from them.
Like Dame Dash.
He got suckered.
Did he? I don't know.
Jay-Z screwed him right out of Rockefeller. Maybe like, nah, I would say like P. Diddy, but I don't want to be like P. Diddy neither. heard some things about him.
Yeah.
Maybe like JD.
Yep.
He got inducted into the Rock and Roll Writers Hall of Fame or the Music Writer Hall of Fame, one of those.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It's only 2 people that's done it. Him and somebody else. I think it was Dr. Dre. Him and Dr. Dre, I think.
Dr. Dre got into the writers. Dr. Dre never wrote his own shit.
Well, maybe it's not.
I think like he would have like Snoop Dogg and like a bunch of other people write his raps for him. Dre was...
He was a beat maker mostly.
I remember when I found that out, I was like, no. Cause I listened to Dre and I'm like, damn, like he can make beats good and he's a fucking decent lyricist. So I was like, he don't write his shit.
Now, I know that one song that he did with Eminem. Eminem wrote that whole thing.
I was about to say, you could tell.
That
Forgot about Dre?
Yeah. Eminem wrote that. Yeah, I knew that.
Because Dre got a hard verse and like that whole fucking song is lit.
Dang, I know it was Jermaine Dupri. Cause Jermaine Dupri just got in it like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Now I'll look it up and later on because I'll be trying to see and try to find this thing.
Surprised it's not Eminem.
No.
So I know I believe they inducted him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So maybe, I know it wasn't a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Or maybe it was.
How do you feel about people that say like like they kind of like shit on Eminem because he's white in the rap game. They don't like, but because he's white, they don't like, they try not to like give him like too much props.
I think that a lot of them are being sour grapes.
A little bit of jealousy.
I do believe that, but I don't. Okay, like in my personal list, he would have either not made the top 5 or just made the top 5. My list is creative lyricists that I believe, like, to me, I feel like Eminem was very good at rhyme pattern and big words, especially at a time to where a lot of urban people weren't using big words. Only people in New York that was sitting down with a fucking dictionary or a thesaurus trying to create like different rhyme patterns and all that stuff. So when he came and he did it, and the things that he was talking about, and the crowd that he was able to reach with him being who he is, I think that helped him give him a boost. Now, it would be hard for me to say that I think that, you know, he's harder than Nas. It would be hard for me to say that he's harder than Andre. It would be hard for me, like I said, like to me, yeah, he's outdone Kill Me America, but I think he's outdone Biggie and Tupac. I think that even though he idolizes Tupac, I believe that he's a better rapper than Biggie and Tupac. But like I said, my list is different because my top rappers are Andre and Nas and like artists like Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys don't get that. Like they kind of do, but they don't. Like the only thing that people remember Busta Rhymes about is that then I gotta get it, then I gotta have it, then I gotta fit all through the traffic, then you know. But they don't know like his body of work.
Yeah,
the man is a lyrical genius, and his flow is amazing. I mean, from when he was a teenager, when he was with this cornball group, I forgot what it was called, but he started out with, you know, like in the old days, like way back in the day. And like he was real good. And so everybody that didn't quite make that list is insult to injury when you weren't as good as this white boy. But not only were you not as good as this white boy is still selling, and you're probably almost forgotten. Podcast keeps you relevant, not your lyric game, not your music. And don't let these rappers fool you, even though you don't hear them. They're still making music. This shit is just not up to par to where people are going to listen to it by the masses. And so, yeah, that's my thought on that, because I've always liked Eminem.
yeah.
I like any rapper that is a storyteller. I want to hear your story. I don't want to hear about, you know, like the whole when the New Orleans era came out. There's one era that I wasn't too keen with, because all they were talking about, one, you had Master P and No Limit talking about selling dope, and you had Cash Money talking about all the money that they get from selling dope. That's when the rap music kind of lost me for a minute, because it was just like, you know, we supposed to be talking about trying to get out of hard times, not glorifying hard times. And then you have like a guy like Eminem come along, and then he's talking about like his personal issues, to where like you might not hit home with it exactly, but there's some things that he says in his lines that makes you be like, man, I feel that shit.
Yeah, struggle is struggle.
Yeah.
Everybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Or most.
Just, it's a comedian. It's a country white boy. I forgot his name. I can't, I suck with names. But in one of his jokes, he was like, he was one of those white boys that, white privilege missed. He was like, he said that, he was like, how the hell am I, how the hell y'all calling me racist when I stay right next door to y'all ass? Like, like, we got the same fucking problems. Fuck my color. We got the same issues. And I was like, that's some real shit, because I grew up in Gwinnett, where in my cul-de-sac there were struggling ass white folks, there were struggling ass black folks, and there were struggling ass Hispanics. And we all just grew up together. We didn't know about. That's why I told like people, like, even though I grew up in Decatur, my mother took me out of Decatur before I really got to like learn the concept of separation. So when I used to come back home and they'd be like, man, ain't no cracker, no white boy, and I'd be like, don't want them to let them know that I had one over just yesterday, just spent the night at my house and shit. Be like,
talking about my friends.
Yeah, like, oh shit. Like,
I know that. I know how that feels.
I used to just be like, and then even when they like, white Mike, you white Mike, I'd be like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. It didn't bother me because it was just like I had a different foundation to kind of build on. I knew everybody was kind of like equal in their own way. Even though I ain't gonna lie, I didn't. Hey, one day maybe Judson will hear this podcast and we could laugh about this shit. But I used to hang out with this white boy named Judson. Like, that was my partner. Like, we grew up, we learned, we both knew how to play baseball when we met each other, but that's all we did was practice baseball. But their parents were undercover racist as hell, and I never knew it, bro. They would be asking me some off the wall, outlandish questions, and I'd just be like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, so where's your dad? This is like, he didn't go out for milk and didn't come back, did he? Oh, my God. Bro, I didn't. No, no.
Oh, my gosh.
My dad got killed when I was such and such years old, and and it was just like.
So the gang life got him, huh? It's like, Jesus
but
Christ.
That's one of the questions. They was like, so what's your favorite color, red or blue? And I was like, neither one of those. My favorite color is purple. They was like, nah. But if you could pick out of those two colors, which one would you pick? And I'm just like, what the fuck is this question? I said blue. Oh, okay. Like, I'm just like,
all right, cuz.
Yeah. I was just like, hey, Jet, you ready to go outside, man? Your fucking parents acting weird, man. But I used to always spend the night at their house, hang out with them all the time and everything. I would never catch it. Like, it took like probably like 15 years later for like all that shit to hit home. And I was just like, ding, what the fuck? Oh man, that's messed up. It was going through my head like, damn, I never noticed it.
A lot of white people just don't know. So they probably saw you and they're like, oh, buddy, we got some questions. Like, we need some answers.
And when I tell you, we literally stayed like 5 minutes, like walking distance, 5 minutes from each other. Like, if you ask me, they had a house, but that house was raggedy as fuck. Like, backwood, raggedy ass house. So I'm just like, yo, we're both fucked up. Like, why in the hell does my downfall of a struggle entertain you? That's something I hate. Listen to me. I like to entertain, but I hate to be people's entertainment.
You might be going down the wrong road here with this podcast then, buddy.
That's what I'm saying.
We're in the business of being the entertainment. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, I guess it's more so like
A generalizing entertainment.
yeah, like I don't want to be nobody's joke. So with that being said, as long as we could be in the same, space on things, then we should be good. I don't want it to be to where like people talking about my lazy eye, or I don't got a lazy eye, but I'm just saying like people.
I was about to say I never noticed.
People nitpick or make something out of something with you and making it like a joke and all the other stuff. I was saying like I don't think that's a cool thing. Now if I like basically Chris Rock getting the shit slapped out of him. Like, I'm not going to be nobody's entertainment that way. I'm not going to act normal after getting smacked on stage in front of millions.
Nah. I don't care where we are. Right. I don't care if the whole academy's watching. It's you fucked up, buddy.
It's not going down. It's not going down the way you think that this shit's going down. And so
I would have at least I wish he would have at least said like some type of joke or something. Like I saw somebody on Twitter be like, Chris Rock should have just went like, well, I'm just waiting on everybody else, all of other Jada's partners to run up and slap me. Just something to just get under his skin.
I think that when that happened, like that had to cut him far off guard. You're making like everybody makes jokes. Everybody dogs everybody out. Hell, the Trump roast was hilarious. Mm-hmm. The fucking Justin Bieber roast was hilarious. The Martha Stewart roast, like, bro, like, they're some of the most famous people have been roasted.
And those roasts are way more savage than anything Chris Rock said that night. So when that happened, just blew me out my mind. That I couldn't imagine. And I was like, this gotta be a part of the show. Yeah, a lot of people thought it was staged at first.
Yeah, I was like, it gotta be a part of the show because I've never seen like, especially like y'all not BCD listers. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all supposed to be in the high security class.
Yeah.
Like, so what happened? And you just see Jada Pinkett over there in the corner with her little devilish look, like.
Actually, it's funny we're talking about Will Smith. I was just listening to a podcast this past week, and they brought him up. Like, some guy had read like his autobiography or some shit, and he had a weird life, man. Growing up, like he's weird. Like he's a weird individual. Like apparently, one thing he did when him and Jada were together, Jada was about to meet Will's grandma for the first time, and apparently he has some weird thing with like timing people, knowing like Jada was coming from she was flying in from somewhere else and coming. He had it timed where Jada had done this movie where like she had like won some type of award for this crazy sex scene, and I don't remember what the movie's called, but he timed it to where when Jada walked in the door, Will and his grandma were watching that movie, and when she walked in the door, that sex scene came on, and he was trying to play it off like it's a prank, like like I guess he thinks he's a real prankster. He's like, oh, classic. But like Jada was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, like,
I mean, I don't know, because both of them seem like they throw
They're an odd couple.
That both of them seem like they're fucking throws. So I don't know what to say. Like it's hard for me to know what to say when it comes down to those two, because they live a out the box lifestyle, or they try to make it seem like they live this off the wall lifestyle, and people idolized it for the longest. But the more they start peeling back that fucking onion,
Yeah, dude. It's
like
it seems kind of dark.
yeah, this is the shit y'all idolized, huh? So now look at this shit. And it's crazy. They idolize so many people, and then right after they idolize them, they start seeing the real them, and then you be like, what the fuck?
I don't want that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you always you so like people. A lot of times people are so like they rather look at other people's lives, look at other people's situation, and they see one or two glorious clips from these people and be like, this is goals, this is what I want, this is the type of shit that I need in my life. And thank God social media is starting to show you that half of this shit is fake. Because before social media, you only got to see what you seen like on TV shows.
Yep.
Not even what they did in real life, because you didn't have something shown unless it was like the Inquirer or like some paparazzi was following around and took like one or two pictures and gave you a headline, and you just had to believe what you seen. And they could be like, well, we're trying to spend it, so we'll give you a few $1,000s if you don't put that out there and say this. We'll let you keep the story, but at least say this. Now it's like, nah, somebody that's just at Disneyland that just saw, Black China acting an ass at Disney World. Somebody just pull that camera out and start recording a stupid ass, and then, oh, well, it's out there. And you can't, and the thing about that is, you can't go to the media and snatch it real quick. But the minute somebody posts that mug somewhere, I don't care if it's on YouTube or wherever the heck it is, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, there's so many things that they could post it on. Once it's there,
it's everywhere.
Oh, man.
That ain't coming down no time soon.
Oh, man.
You just got to wait for everybody to forget.
That's why I say, man, but please think about it. Please think real hard before you want to go out here and do a damn porno, because before you got 10 million people jacking off to it and playing with themselves to it, do you really want that attention? Do you really? But you got a lot of people out there that's like, they're all for it. I don't know, but after we have this conversation all the time. I keep saying, but after a while, it's just gonna be you could turn on the regular TV. Like back in the day, you could only see like certain sex scenes on like HBO and Showtime and stuff like that. Bro, after a while, it's gonna be on ABC. It's gonna be on ABC. Ain't gonna be no taboo-ness about nothing. It's just gonna be pow.
I don't think it'd be bad to have like nudity. They do that shit over in Europe in certain places, I believe, where it's like, it might not be like sex on TV, like hardcore shit, but like they have I think they have like fucking TV shows where they show like titties and shit.
Yeah, I don't, to be honest, I don't see too much wrong with the nudity. Sex, different. Nudity, it's normal. I don't know if I would be ready for my 7-year-old daughter to be watching normal TV and then watch Mrs. Crumble from a Toy's Life getting jammed by Commander Roddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ready for that part. I don't know. Like I said, but hey, the world's changing. I don't know how it's going to end up being, but
we'll see. Now, I don't think they should be having like sex shit on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. That'd be like, okay, guys, I mean, this is a bit much.
It's the same.
No, it's not. They already got sex on certain shit. Like, I mean, Nip Tuck. Holy shit, dude.
HBO.
Nip Tuck wasn't HBO.
Yes, it was.
Nip Tuck was FX.
Same shit.
No, it's not.
FX wasn't regular TV.
That was a cable TV show.
It was a cable TV show.
You didn't have, I mean, you pay for it with like all the other channels, but that wasn't like HBO.
That's true.
It's already there.
Well. Shoot.
Now, if they started doing like, you know, like on HBO and Showtime, where like midnight, they have like the fucking softcore pornos. If that was on like cable TV, that'd be like, ooh, this is new. But I was a kid when I found that shit. Kids are going to find things, especially with phones and everything now.
But see, even with phones, like if you would be a smart parent, at least you would put boundaries on the damn phone. Because like with my daughter's phone, she can't even get on the internet on her phone. She could text individuals, and even on the texting app, if there's anything sent that looks provocative, it sends it to me. So technology has it out there to where you could still put boundaries on your kids. It's just hard to put boundaries on your kids when the world doesn't want to have boundaries. After a while, it's like your kid come home from school, if you ain't there, or if you don't got your kid in after school care, they gonna find some shit out. That sucks. Seriously, because I do believe being over sexualized as a kid makes it harder for you as an adult. From the stories that I've heard, and also a personal, how I feel sometimes. A lot of times I feel like you go through so much, and then after a while, it's just like you start getting that what next feeling. And nothing 100% satisfies you. It becomes more of an act than something you're supposed to be getting emotionally attached with somebody with. Yeah. I think it could be a good thing. Like, everybody be like, but you get that training, you get to know how to do things, but the older I get, the more value I see in what I was missing. Meaning like waiting on top of waiting. Not rushing to do it and do it so many times, or do it with so many people, or whatever the case may be.
I mean, I'm not going to touch on the kid thing. Just because I don't have kids. I don't even remember really. Because I wasn't fucking 18 when I found porn. I don't know how old I was. I was pretty young. But I don't know. Sometimes, like, I go back and forth in my head with thinking, like, I think sex is definitely like there's an energetic exchange there.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, it's two people's life force. Like whenever you come, you got life coming out of you, and like that's like something that you do to make life, or it's supposed to be.
That's true,
but it's not always. Don't make life every time, or at least I don't. But
it's the whole bunch of practice.
Oh yeah, by the time if I ever do decide to have a kid, I'm gonna be the best baby maker ever. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think that it's not. I think that's how people get fucked up in the head, is like thinking that there's like some emotional thing that has to come with sex. But it could just be people that work in porn, they don't fall in love with everybody they fuck.
Yeah, but
it's a job.
I know you hate when I say this, but a lot of those people have been through some type of early sex trauma.
That's true.
So we could look at them and be like, because a lot of them want to be connected. A lot of strippers want to be connected. So they try to get into that. No, it's money in this shit. So they try to dip their toe in this shit and hope that they can still find a connection. That's why you'll have some like these chicks out here. Like this is an example right here. Is you'll have a female that'll have sex with different guys, but then will have a guy that she really likes. She holds out on him. She makes him wait. Why? Because she wants that man, when they have sex, that they have that connection when they finally have it. Because she knows if she gives it up quickly, there is no connection. Because when it comes down to a guy, it's different than a female. With a female, that's where the connection come in at. We like them for different reasons. Being pretty is just one of them, but we like a woman for many different things. So sex is not one of those things that it does it for us. Especially if we have sex. Like, women always love to say they can do it like we can. They can have sex emotionless like we can, but true enough, they can. But it fucks with them differently than it does us.
Yeah, it's not fulfilling.
For us, it's like you hear women always say, well, why can't we have sex with one woman for the rest of our lives? We don't have that argument with them. If they had the right situation, they would be satisfied for the rest of their fucking life. And if they are in a bad mood, or if they feel disconnected from you, what's the first thing that they try to get from you? Your dick. Because you feel them with something that's different. So, of course, us as guys, we're going to have us as guys feel the way that we feel. But we have to say, like, when we say a situation like that as a whole, we have to think of women and men. And I think that it's not really, it's us in the way of being fucked up by being out here randomly fucking everybody. But I also think it's fucked up for them because they know what it does to them and they still want to continue to do what they do. So, yeah, we have porn stars. We have OnlyFans chicks. And there's a lot of women that love sex. And they love sex right now. But, oh, when it rains. Oh, when it gets cold. when Christmas, New Year's, and Valentine's Day come up. Oh.
There are plenty of porn stars that are in relationships, and they've been in relationships for a long time.
Yeah, because they can find somebody that's in the same realm as them. A lot of women that find guys in that same realm, they have the same mindset, but a lot of times these women don't want a guy that's in that same industry. A lot of them want normal guys. Normal guys do not want porn stars. They want to have sex with porn stars. They want to see if it's really what it's about with porn stars. But I've never heard somebody say, I'll put a ring on Pinky. I'll put a ring on Alexis Sky. I'm going to put a ring on, I can't think of all these porn stars. I'm naming all these old ones. I don't know. I don't know none. I might have to go on Pornhub and look them up and saying their names or something. But you see them, like the ones that are married, hell, their husband be on there with them, watching them take cock. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they do it together and have threesomes. So I know that there are situations out there like that.
Yeah, just because you ain't never heard nobody say I put a ring on Pinky's finger don't mean ain't nobody ever said it.
That motherfucker single as a motherfucker Pringle.
But that's just one example.
Bro, there is no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me meet the guy that sit there and let his wife goggle over 100 pieces of lumber, and I'm going to give her a kiss and send her on her way to the next day. There's not a strong enough Listerine in the world. Now, you could be like, well, she did it before you. That was before me. She didn't just go out, do what she did, wake up the next morning, and then say, with fresh dick on the breath, say, hey, babe, how you doing, babe? Like, even in my heydays, we had rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out here with no holds barred. Even the ones that do the cleanup. Oh, that's so fucking disgusting.
And I'm sure there are people that are married or got porn star girlfriends. They probably have boundaries.
I better
make
not,
it work.
I better not have no more boundaries.
Yeah. You say, look, I know you got a job to do. Just don't come home with that shit glazed on your face and try and rub up on me. Just clean up.
and then cuddle with me. Oh, yeah. No. Hey, babe, I gotta go. Oh, okay. What you gotta do today? I'm doing this.
And maybe they don't even ask. They just go, all right, don't tell me. I don't want to know what you do. Or like what
you wouldn't want. You wouldn't want to know if your girl got a bukkake on her.
If she's doing porn, I would have to assume.
Oh my God, bro. Like, she'll be like, give me a kiss on my cheek. Like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck away from me, if you don't get the fuck away from me, I couldn't do it. Just me personally. You know, I feel like women should be empowered to do whatever the hell they want to do. Like, I'm saying that, but I'm not 100% honest. I feel like a lot of the things that they do kind of like make them go backwards more than forwards. But, you know, that's just my opinion. And I think a lot of these guys out here do the same shit with all this beta mentality that they have, cleaning up after guys. And
yeah, at some point you got to have a bit of self-respect. I'm not doing no cleanup.
There's people out here, it's like the more degrading this shit is, the better. Not to that extent, but I like it when a woman's a little rough. I don't want her to degrade me.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, I like her to be rough. Don't be no pillow princess.
Yeah. But there's some people who are into that. I don't get it. I don't get it myself. Like the humiliation kink or whatever. Like some guys are really into that shit.
Yeah. They said it'd be like CEOs of companies that's always bossing and telling people what to do and always feeling so powerful that they want to feel weak at one point. I was like, bro, I don't know if I ever will be that powerful to where I want somebody to chain me and whip me and call me, you know, all type of crazy names. Like it'd be like, I know this might sound lame of me, but like even when chicks be like, I want you to choke me and call me a bitch. And I'm like, I could do the choking. It's going to be awkward. Give me this pussy, bitch. Like, I it's like, can't role play too well, you know.
Can I do it when we're arguing? Like, I'll choke you, call you a bitch.
Like, I did that shit then. Like I gotta get into character. I gotta get into character real quick. Like, you're gonna have to let me like get it right then and there, because then it'll be the perfect timing. Just like I was kicking it with this one chick, and she was a white girl, and she was a rough one. You know, she liked everything rough and talking shit and all this other stuff.
I think you told me about her before.
But I always kept on thinking, I was like, damn, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Because like the things that she used to like doing, like she used to like hold my head down and stuff like try to mush my head in the bed. I be laughing and shit because I'd be like, this little bitty French fry ass motherfucker keep trying to like act like she's like really trying to handle somebody. But like she'll be, you can't get shit right. Get down and do such and such and such. Yeah, da 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 da. And da da da. You, and I'll be like, keep looking back like, all right, motherfucker. Like, I keep enjoying this, but I gotta stay on my toes, because I'm gonna have to get on the flutter if you slip. But it used to be, I used to enjoy it. We used to have fun together. I'd be sitting up here laughing at some of that shit. It'd be like, the things that we like, we know it's borderline things that we shouldn't like. But hey, fuck it. We like what we like. I guess if a CEO wants to get chained up and get called Susie Sausage Head, he is allowed to.
Called a fucking sissy.
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah. But that's the crazy thing about sex is like it's weird to like call shit like normal sex. But it's so fucking like the shit, the broad spectrum of shit that you can do with sex. It's pretty cool.
And a lot of people get so bored with it, but you know, this is what kind of like I think is like crazy. People don't want to try taboo shit, but they love screaming they're bored with sex.
Yeah.
You might have something that might, you know, kink you out your mind, but you will probably do it behind closed doors. You probably won't tell nobody, or you know, and a lot of times I told you, I've seen a couple of situations, or like I'll have a couple of conversations with people, and I would hear men and women, like they will have threesomes behind their significant other's back.
That's so weird.
Right. Because they don't want to share who they with, but they want the experience of a threesome.
Oh, like they don't want to, it's not so much that they're trying to hide it. They just don't want their partner being involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's selfish.
That's what I said. That's why to everybody who I said that shit to, and if they ever listen to this shit, I told you, selfish. I say that all the time. I said, so you telling me that you'll risk your relationship and you'll say because, well, that person can't handle it, or I don't want to see my person with somebody else, or
Have you heard this from chicks or dudes?
both. More women than guys.
Wow.
More women than guys.
I would have guessed the opposite.
But see, a guy, if he's just cheating, he's cheating. It ain't because if from most guys that I know, if that girl would be down with it, they'll be down with it. They ain't trying to not share their girl. They don't care. They would just want two girls. But there are some women out here that don't want to share their man with another woman because they think that woman will go back and try to be with their man outside of that threesome situation.
Yeah.
Or their relationship's on the rocks and she just wanted to try something, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's where trust and everything comes in. Like if people coming to you and telling you like they're afraid that, I mean, that's just an insecurity. Everybody feels that in a relationship at some point, but like if you're communicating and that sort of thing, like you set boundaries, that all that type of shit. But a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Man, trust is a hard trust is like the stocks. You know what I'm saying? At sometimes you can put a lot into trust. And then at sometimes the stock of trust will hit rock bottom. At times like this, where there's so many ways for you to cheat and do stuff, and like, it's not like back in the 60s and 70s no more. Like, if your girl goes out with the girlfriends, you don't know what's going on these days. So trust, yeah, you ain't got no choice but to trust. But don't put too much in that shit.
I mean, it's like there should be like a certain equity after like over time. If you show patterns of being an untrustworthy person, then you're not going to have much stock in this person's trust.
I agree.
But if over time this person has not really given you anything to worry about, it's like, but I mean, people are human beings. Anything can happen.
True. Anything can happen, and a lot of times it will happen. I'm not trying to sound like a negative Nancy, but after you live life, it's not just me personally. This is not a me thing. This is not me looking at my situations or my life and trying to make these accusations and assumptions. This is me just looking at a lot of people's outside situations. And I don't hear about many situations to where you hear people living that white picket fence lifestyle to where everything's honky-dory. There's no cheating. There's no this. There's no that. I hear about a lot of stuff. And a lot of times, especially like if you hear it from like your friends and family, you hear like them doing stuff. Like I probably know out of 100% of my people that I know or known or had brief conversations with, at some point, some part, they done some untrustworthy ass shit that if they partner would know about it, they would leave them. bro, I mean, like it's in the 90%.
I believe it.
I it's so messed up, but I be, you know, when I especially like when growing up, and you think that, you know, people be like, oh, it's a this day and age thing. It's like, nah, no. 'Cause I remember me being a little kid, it was going on then, and then it was going on before then. And if you look at certain movies and documentations, it was going on then. It was just different. It's just way worse now because technology, you can hide an app in an app in an app.
Yeah.
Bro, there's so if you get caught this day and age,
You fucked up.
yeah. If you get caught this day and age, you are an idiot. But with that being said, it sucks that people are still out here cheating. And here, you know, it'd be like, it's easy to say that, especially like when you live in a big time city, you know, it's hella temptation in major cities. In the USA, every major city, every major hotspot, there's thousands of temptations. It's not no small town where Jerry loved Alicia for 15 years, and you know, when they finally reached of age, they got married, had kids, so they can tell their kids that they've been together since they were kids, and then their kids are neighbors' kids, and one of the neighbors' kids ends up marrying them, and then next thing you know, they grow old and say, you know, we all grew up next to each other, and everybody knows each other. That situation doesn't exist out in places like this. You can literally have a family in East Point, a family in Riverdale, a family in Beaufort, and a family in Conyers. Nobody would know shit about none of them. And I've heard of situations like that too. To where they got like 2 situations, 3 situations. And I mean, playing it well like a fiddle. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How?
2 different, more than one family is, I can't even wrap my mind around it. That'd be exhausting.
I mean, kids and all. Kids and all. You mean your wife don't know about? Nah, bro. Nah, man. It's been like that for 3 years now. 3 years, huh? Your wife don't know you got a whole nother kid.
That can't last forever. That's got to crumble at some point.
Bro.
That's a situation like that is a house of cards.
That's just like if you a man and you have a kid and you don't get if you don't get a blood test, like you can get a blood test when that child's first born. And if you let your conscience talk you out of it and you live a whole 18 years of you not knowing, I could not imagine one day out of 16 years or whatnot and finally say, you know what, I just want to know. And find out that this whole time she knew it, but she just knew that you had a better job. She knew it, but you took better care of your other kids. So she wanted to make sure her kid got taken care of too. Primal instincts.
I found that shit out, dude. After like 16 years, I'm moving some furniture.
Bruh. And to be funny with you, bro, that shit happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I sit there and watch Paternity Court.
Jesus Christ, man.
Bro, that's what have you drunk. Bro, I shedded a tear for one of them one time, bro. I was so pissed. Like, bro, like you could tell like his all was in that kid. Like, and he was so happy. He just knew it was his and everything. And I mean, like when the lady said, you know, you're not the father, I seen his soul leave his body. I felt so bad for him because I'm just sitting here like, if that was me, I don't know how I could take it or how I would react. I don't think that I would be the chick running out of the studio like on Maury. But that is some heart crumbling stuff. And I don't think that there's no way in the hell that I would be able to take that one on the chin. I mean, you would have to anyway. But I wouldn't want to. I would want to act very immature. I would want to be petty. I would want to do everything under the blue moon because I would want. But and there better be a judge somewhere in the United States that say that I need to get every motherfucking penny back. And they'll be talking about, yeah, you gave all that money as a gift. No, the fuck I didn't. I gave that money as a fucking blind investment on a kid that's not mine. I need a refund.
Yep.
Every motherfucking dime I want back. I'm going to look at every receipt. I'm going to go down to DFAX. I'm going to find out the records. Nah, y'all going to make her pay me my money back. Y'all better take it out her motherfucking taxes or whatever. But I better get mine back. Shit.
So if you were in a situation where you, for 16 years, you never did, which before I get going, I'll say like with the paternity test thing, I feel like either you do it as soon as the kid's born or you can't never do it. Not can't, but like, why would you? Like, well, you might as well do it right then and there or just be like, fuck it, commit to the kid. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to find out, I want to know now before I have to go to paternity court 16 years later. But say 10 years into it, you wind up on paternity court. It's not yours. Do you still take care of the kid?
No.
You got 10 years emotionally attached to that kid. You don't fuck with him no more?
No.
I'd be like, I'll come around, but you ain't seeing a dime from me. Come over and throw a football, but this is my football. Tell your daddy to buy you one. We'll throw that one. Yeah, you ain't touching mine.
I couldn't.
That'd be devastating.
Yeah, I couldn't be there. I couldn't play dad. I couldn't sit there and play dad when I know that this isn't my child. If you want to convert it over, and if I'm capable, I got the time to, I could be a big brother to him. But he ain't gonna keep calling me dad. I would be like, call me Michael. Hey, dad. Call me Michael. I'm not your dad, but I'm going to be here for you.
If the kid was 10 when I found out, I think, and this is easy for me to say because I got no fucking kids, but if I just think if I was in that situation, I would still go along with it. I wouldn't fuck with the mom. I'd be like, look, I'll still come around and be like, spend time with the kid. He can call me dad, whatever. But at a certain age, I don't know if I'll do 18. That's still pretty like not mentally developed enough to maybe like take that information in. But at some point, maybe like 20, 21.
It's like the chicken pox. The longer you wait to get it, the worse the situation is going to be.
But how do you explain this to a 10-year-old?
Easy. Explain it. You know, the funny thing that a lot of parents get fucked up with kids is that they're nothing but mini us. So while we sit here and act like they can't take certain shit, it's something that and I'm getting this from Kung Fu Panda. I get shit from everywhere. I got this from Kung Fu Panda.
That's what all family therapists watch.
Right.
That's how they get, they can't get their therapist license until they watch Kung Fu Panda.
All that shit, you gotta get it from shit like that. But he was like, the more you try to prevent a problem, a lot of times you make the problem come to you
and make it even bigger.
That's
a fair point.
Because you remember, I don't know if you watched Kung Fu Panda.
I've never seen it.
Okay, but it was a guy that they had locked up. And I mean, they locked him up tremendously. Like, chained his arms up, chained his neck, chained his legs, chained his toes. Because they was like, he's just that damn dangerous. They had him at the bottom of a big ass canyon and had guards all the way up to the top for this one guy. Then they were so scared that they had a prediction that he was going to escape, that one of the people went down there to go check on him, and he was a bird. You know, Kung Fu Panda's all animals. Mm. So the bird went to go check on him, and he was all locked up. But because that dumbass bird went to go check on him, one of his fucking feathers got plucked off and fell down into the damn thing. And he was able to move his body to where the feather unlocked the lock. And he broke out, beat everybody's ass on the way up, came out, and now he had to fight everybody. And that's where his quote came into play, because he said that right before that shit happened. And that's why I was like, damn, that shit's real. It was like, sometimes you go into a situation hoping that you're preventing a problem, but in actuality, you're creating a problem and you don't even know it. So I be feeling like a lot of things that if I would have got the wool took off of my eyes a long time ago about certain situations, I could have had a better understanding with life. I could have grasped the concept of life. You know, the difference between growing up, you know, they say that we let our kids grow up too fast and it's a bad thing. But that's not really actually true, because even back in the old days, they were growing up fast. We had to have them out in the field working. They were already being adults. They were running and buying stuff from the store. They were taking care of their siblings. They were doing adult things as kids. But the only difference is we try to hide them in plain sight these days. Everything's on the internet and everybody let their kid have phones. So the shit that you try to hide from your kids, just because your dumb ass think that you trying to manipulate them, they can go on the internet, hear it from their friends, and look it up on the internet themselves and find some stuff out. So I ain't hiding shit. If I find it the day I find out, me and mama gonna have a conversation, and then I'm gonna wait for the next day when all my emotions have died. And I can come to him as a man and be like, look, I found out that, you know, I'm not your dad. And he's going to cry. He's going to be sad. And I am too. But from that point on, we can heal. And it's easier to heal if you can mend that wound early as a kid, then you try to mend bones when they old. They don't get healed that easily. They don't get healed that quickly. He's gonna be like, "You're the only person I've ever known. I don't know who my real dad is. I'm lost now. What am I gonna do?" And he's really gonna be fucked up then.
Yeah, you're making a good point, but I think now that you say that, I probably would. That's a good point. I'll tell him as soon as possible, but I think I'd still be around just because I don't want him growing up.
Yeah. I'm just saying I couldn't play.
He shouldn't have to get punished for.
I couldn't play dad.
That's fair.
Yeah, I couldn't play dad. I can play big bruh. I could play uncle. I just can't play dad. Cause I'm not there for your mother. And I'm going to feel some type of way all the way in the back of my head because at the end of the day, you're a child through somebody who I wouldn't even be involved with. I wouldn't be involved with her, period, if it wasn't for you. So, ooh.
Yeah, that'd be a rough one.
I'm very happy that I know mine are mine, but ooh, could you imagine getting those results? You know what I mean? I know you don't have kids, so like you don't know what that feeling is when you have a kid, right? Like it's fulfilling in your heart. And the 2 times that the feeling sucks, right, is like when you break up with the person that you with, so you know that you're not going to have that everyday life with your kid.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. And to watch people's reaction, because I've never went through it, but to watch people's reaction when they hear that that kid isn't theirs. Those are some tough, it looks like it's some tough cookies.
Yeah.
So kudos to all those guys on paternity court that be with these hot fries.
Yeah. And especially the ones that don't end up in jail for taking the whole family out after he finds out. That's got to be some, man, I couldn't imagine.
But, let's get into this shit, right? Let's get into it. Hey, man, let's get into this shit, though. Is it the chicken or the egg, right? Because, I remember on the last show that we had, we were talking about, like, we talk about women a good little bit.
Yep.
Let me start digging in these dudes' ass a little bit.
Good idea.
There's something that pisses me off about guys these days is them thinking that a couple of things. So I guess I'll just go down the line of the things that irks me, right? The number one thing is that everybody wants to say that they're a manly man or they're an alpha male or they're something, right? But you can't, like, a lot of them can't do nothing for themselves, or that they can't change their tire because they look too pretty. Like they're wearing the new Jordans, so they don't want to change the tire. Oh my God. Like I've seen guys that's more dressed up than their girl, so the girl got to do the stuff outside because he don't want to get dirt. Like that's one of the things that irks me. It's like, I hate hearing all this. Everybody's a freaking alpha. They have this alpha and beta, red pill, blue pill. I think that all that's bullshit. I think like for guys that actually grew up in trenches and grew up roughly and really had to learn things on their own. And like when I hear all these guys with their legs crossed and be like, only true alpha males, like, you don't get your sweet honey boo boo ass on somewhere, bro. Like I can't deal it. And then, all right, another thing I be seeing, like, true enough. We always get on these women and say, well, you the one who had your legs open and you got pregnant by her, I mean by him, but we never be saying, you know, like real talk, like guys know the consequences of screwing these girls just as well as these girls know about the consequences of them opening their legs to us. And we choose some of the worst individuals to have sex with. And on top of that, we choose some of the worstest women to slip up with. If you gonna slip up in your best. Not your worst, not the worst chick you slept with in the past 3 years. And oops, it had to be her. How do you feel when? Thank God it never happened to me. Thank you. But what would you? How if you had a fleet of pretty, educated, nice smelling? It's your whole MO. Then you go out one day and have this drunken weekend somewhere. And then next thing you know, what's her name? I can't think of her name. But some whoozy what's it? I don't know how to describe it, and I can't even say the Wicked Witch from the West because you'll be like, she wasn't that bad looking, but but like out of all the women you slept with, this had to be like the worst female you've ever slept with. And next thing you know, she's like, I'm late. You're like, for what?
Well, you better get going.
Oh shit! Well, what? I didn't know you had to work today. Like, bro, like
It's Sunday.
Yeah, nah, but
Yeah, that was
So I be sitting up here like I be looking at some of these guys and I be like, bro, you know, they be like, yeah, you know, I be messing with this man, I got this bad bitch right over here, but I be getting it messed up. And then next thing you know, you meet the baby mama, you be like, nigga, bruh, come on, man. That's you, son? Okay. Your son should slap you in your motherfucking face. You bred me with her, dumb motherfucker.
Was that down bad?
Boy, look.
Jesus, how drunk were you?
Hey, that's why, you know, the two reasons why it's not good to get drunk in the club no more. Number one is because a lot of transgenders do not reveal, you know, their original sex. And if you're drunk, sometimes you will
find out the hard way.
Look, you'll let
the literal hard
you'll
way.
Let yeah. you'll let every masculine facial feature go out the window. You like, yeah, I know, I see that double chin. I mean, not that cleft chin. I see that strong ass cleft chin. I see that bone structure. I see those biceps. She just likes to work out. She goes to Planet Fitness. She gets it in. And then next thing you know, you get spooned and you trying to figure out why the fuck you're the little spoon. And you trying to figure out what's that digging in your ass.
It can't be a finger because she got both the arms around me.
Don't go homicidal on me now, goddammit. You know what I mean? Shit. I'm not like that's on. I'd be like, and another thing, like women will slip things in guys' drinks these days. But not, you know, not to rape them, but you know,
you could have just asked.
Like take you to the car, make you feel like y'all about to do something, and then you pass out, then they steal your shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
That would suck.
Okay. Man, I tell myself, man, I said, I'm out the game. Take me out the game. I really don't want to play. I'm so done.
Thank you for tuning in to the Unbreakable Black Man Podcast. Remember to listen out for up and coming shows, and you can also follow me on all social platforms at Unbreakable BMP. If you would like to reach out with topic ideas, or even if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can always reach me by email at theunbreakablepodcast @gmail.com. As we close out, always remember your tongue is strong, but your mind is even stronger. So stop just talking about it and make shit happen.
If you're trying to find love, know it's hard to keep. Even when it get tough and you wanna leave. Take a look into your eyes where I find reason. Yeah. Writing love letters with my broken English. Conversate with a sip. I'm wishing you well. Set the time and place and I'll meet you there. Be right there. Be right. I'll be right. Stumbling up the stairs. Please come, I need help. Can't do this alone. Show me that you're there. We've been through so much in the past week. Can we start afresh, leaving in last week? Cause I'm so good. Fighting the temptations in that old phone. They been trying to set